This is the #1 Cowboys YouTube channel. We have the most subscribers and the most fun, thanks to viewers like you. If you want more free videos on everything going on around America's team, hit that sub button right now and join us. Free videos right here at youtube.com/@CowboysTV. We begin our rumors with Ezekiel Elliott and a potential return thanks to good old Jerry. He still thinks that's an option, says that's an option. The Cowboys did not draft a running back until the 6th round this year when they took Deuce Vaughn out of Kansas State, who I love dearly. Our small king is a Cowboy. Zeke's market has been, frankly, non-existent so far, but it should generate something after the NFL draft as teams figure out what needs they have. Here's what Jerry Jones had to say on Ezekiel Elliott. Ship has not sailed. We haven't made a decision. We obviously drafted a running back, a little bit different style than Zeke, but it doesn't change for us as far as our interest in Zeke. Nothing we did changes that. In a way, that is true. In a way, it's also maybe not the truest statement ever. The issue for Elliott is on a high volume over the course of his career, significantly high volumes. He hasn't been as productive, as efficient, as reliable. The things that he does best, though, short yardage, goal line, doing a great job of turning a 1-yard loss, a 2-yard loss into negative or no gain, or even getting a yard there. That short yardage role, basically, that is still potentially unfilled by the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Pollard is a fast home run back. He's not someone you really want to make into a battering ram. Ronald Jones actually could maybe fill that role. He's got decent size and solid speed too. Deuce Vaughn is small. It's not his job. Malik Davis could fill it. I would also say look at the running back fullback hybrid the Dallas Cowboys went out and signed. That is Hunter Lipke. We broke him down on our UDFA video. He fits the mold of that short yardage back to a T. Now, he's got to make the roster. We've been through the Nick Ralston saga already, but if those guys don't impress, then maybe there is the possibility of Zeke, although maybe there's not time to wait for that. I'll break it down, but first, what do you guys want? I think we know everything there is to know about Zeke at this stage. We have all the information we need to make the answer, or provide the answer. Do you want to bring back Zeke Elliott? Y for yes, N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break happens to come here on the YouTube side, take advantage of it. Head down there, type your votes, Y or N. Important to note this part. According to Clarence Hill, who's getting the information from the Zeke camp, by the way, Zeke has options he's going to pursue after the draft instead of the Cowboys. He had leaked his 3 teams, or leaked the teams that have shown interest. That was his wish list, not, like the teams that shown interest. Jets took a running back this year, Israel Abanikanda. Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles, of course, got DeAndre Swift, which I'm very jealous of. The Bengals also took Chase Brown in the 5th round, so maybe those teams don't need a running back. Tampa signed to UDFA. Didn't do much else beyond that, though. So I still think in the end between Zeke and the Cowboys, a clean breakup makes the most sense. There could be, because I want to see what these young guys, I want to see what Ronald Jones can do, Malik Davis, Hunter Lipke. I want to see what they can do as the 3rd running back or the 2nd running back. They could be ready for those types of roles. Lipke probably maybe more your 3rd back. Rico Dowdle still exists. So my analogy here is we can trade Ezekiel Elliott like the best guy and girlfriend do when they're 23 years old and they say, you know what, if we're not married when we're 30, then we can get married or whatever. If the Cowboys have not yet found a better RB2, a reliable RB2 short yardage guy by the time we get through training camp and Zeke has not yet found a team, then maybe they can resume and get back together. But I still think a clean breakup just makes the most sense for all parties involved. Now, the Mazi Smith jerseys are finally out. It was actually kind of hard to find them, but we've got you covered. Chatsports.com/Mazi. That link is going to be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Chatsports.com/Mazi. It is the Navy jersey, the one you see right there. That's available. He is going to wear number 58. Get yours today. Chatsports.com/Mazi. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show. Let's go to kicker here, as Robbie Gould is a free agent. The Niners, thank you, by the way, 49ers. They took a top 100 pick on a kicker. Chad Ryland, who I think was the guy the Cowboys had interest in. He jumped over to the Patriots, which will explain how that could impact the Cowboys and their plans in a little bit. But they have only Tristan Vizcaino, is how you pronounce it, I eventually learned, on the roster at the position, so that's kind of an area of concern. Robbie Gould is the name at kicker. Like, that's the name people are familiar with, the one that everyone's been asking for, which I perfectly understand. It's the most familiar name from that position. Here's what Jerry Jones had to say about the kicker spot. We'll be looking at a more veteran kicker. We didn't get the opportunity we thought we'd have, and we had other priorities. So some notable players who are free agents, their last team, in parenthesis. Robbie Gould, he's fine. Mason Crosby is not good anymore. Ryan Suckup got cut. Maybe he goes back to Tampa since they did not draft a kicker. Randy Bullock, Fat Randy, is not great. Brett Maher is still available. And with the Patriots drafting Chad Ryland, how about Cowboys legend Nick Folk? His last 4 years compared against Robbie Gould. Extra points. That's the one spot that's not as good. Everything else is better for Nick Folk. He was a disaster the last time he was in Dallas. He left and got better. Actually worked out pretty decently for Brett Maher last year. So that is a significant factor from that perspective. So we will spend more time, I know, on kickers. I am not looking forward to. They will sign somebody at some point, and we will have a video on it. But first, let's have some fun. Are kickers people? P for their people and P for not people. Dalton Risner is next up, as he had been kind of speculatively linked to the Cowboys before the NFL draft. And he has not had much of a market. There's an injury late last year. It wasn't as good. But the comp pick element is about to end. 4 p.m. Monday, May 1st, which, depending on when you're watching, that's probably already passed at this point. At that stage, comp picks are no longer factored in. At that point, it does not impact things. You no longer potentially lose a comp pick at that perspective. So the Cowboys have very real question marks at left guard. I am uncertain about the O-line depth chart from that perspective. As it sits right now, I would guess/wager that you could just ride with your best five at that position, which is Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele. Right now, these are your best five. Asim Richards, Matt Biletsko, Chuma Adoga, Matt Farniok, those are backup guys. There's been buzz around Terrence Steele playing the right tackle spot. That's a big red flag. Tyler Smith, Tyron Smith, all potentially big red flags in terms of where things are at. So that's what confuses me and concerns me, just of where things currently sit. Dalton Risner wasn't as good last year. 53.4 PFF run grade, which is where things currently just an issue there. 3 sacks, 6 hits, 20 hurries. I would like to get Dalton Risner on this team. I would absolutely like to get Risner. I think it'll only be that expensive, and I'd feel better about the offensive line room at that point. So, folks, name a free agent you guys want to sign in the comments section. What free agent do you guys want to add? Go ahead and sound off in the comments section. What free agent do you guys want to add this offseason? One more minor note here. Another UDFA has been signed by the Dallas Cowboys, John Stevens Jr. Again, please make note that's John Stevens Jr., not John Stephen Jones, Jerry's grandkid, totally different player here. Louisiana football, big receiver, tight end hybrid. We'll see if he makes the roster, but he brings you massive size, did not produce very much at Louisiana. So we'll keep an eye on him, as the Cowboys, I believe, have 2 or 3 open roster spots right now. Kicker, quarterback, and we'll see what else in the not-too-distant future.